Welcome to Raw Sports TV 23. Make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. So let's get right into it. So Michael Jordan, greatest player of all time, chimes in on the small forward debate on who is the greatest small forward of all time. Now, many automatically will assume that is LeBron James, but Michael Jordan had something different to say about this debate. Michael Jordan picked Larry Bird as the greatest small forward in NBA history over LeBron James and many more legendary players of this position. Now, we know that Larry Bird did get the best of Michael Jordan in the 80s, and simply because he played with many more Hall of Famers. But Michael Jordan didn't come short either of putting on some incredible performances in the Boston Garden. Even many years after the battles of Larry Bird and Michael Jordan came to an end, Michael Jordan had nothing but respect for Larry Bird. And no matter how many small forwards came in after Larry Bird, Michael Jordan always placed Larry Bird above them all. Michael Jordan said that Larry Bird is far better than LeBron James and any other small forward in NBA history. Not even LeBron James, who is now considered the number 2 player of all time, could convince MJ that he was better than Larry Bird. In the book When the Game Was Ours, Jordan explained how high he was on Larry Bird and how impressive he was in comparison to the rest of the players he played against. The GOAT Michael Jordan goes on to explain that LeBron James does not even compare to Larry Bird. Michael Jordan quoted, "Larry was a debate. Nah, he still is. People ask me all the time who my all-time 5 top players are. And when I start saying Larry, they interrupt me. They say, you got to be kidding. He can't play with LeBron James." I tell them, you guys don't get it. Larry is far better than any small forward who ever played the game. And to be honest, I'm still not sure if he's a small forward or a power forward. Now, the debate between Larry Bird and LeBron James has been going on for a while. Let's dive deep into why Michael Jordan probably believes that Larry Bird is better than LeBron James. Now, let's look at the stats of both players in their prime. Larry Bird averaged 27.3 points per game, and LeBron James averaged 26.6 points per game. I'm going to say LeBron was in his prime while he was with the Miami Heat. And 6.8 assists for Larry Bird to LeBron James' 6.9 assists per game. When it comes to rebounds, Larry Bird averaged 9.8 rebounds per game, and LeBron James 7.3. So LeBron James was not a better rebounder than Larry Bird. When it comes to defense, on the steal side, LeBron James averaged 1.6 steals per game in his prime to Larry Bird's 1.8 steals per game. When it comes to blocks, 0.9 blocks per game and 0.7 blocks per game for LeBron James. Turnovers, that department is more with LeBron James, who is the all-time turnover king in NBA history, which we know he's over 5,000 career turnovers at 3.5 a game in his prime. And Larry Bird was a better person when it came to controlling the ball, 3.1 turnovers per game. Field goal percentage, 53% for LeBron and 51% for Larry Bird. Now, let's break that down. A lot of LeBron's shots come in transition, okay? Dunks and layups. So that's why his field goal percentage is a little higher. But with that being said, Larry Bird's shooting percentage at 51% was more impressive than LeBron because of the shots he took. He took more mid-range shots that were contested, and he was a better three-point shooter. Turnaround shot, he could make that fadeaway shot with his back turned towards the basket. He was a better shooter than LeBron James. And Larry Bird did it under much tougher circumstances in his time with the hand checking rules. The defensive game was a lot harder than it is in today's game, and you also had true bigs in the paint. So with that being said, Larry Bird making shots from mid-range and from 3 and making fadeaways is much more impressive to me than the player who has to always score his shots on the fast break with dunks and layups. Now, in their prime, LeBron James shot 36.5% from the three-point line and Larry Bird 40% from the three-point line. Now, we know that Larry Bird was a better three-point shooter than LeBron James, even won the three-point contest, something LeBron James could never do. Now, also with that being said, we know that the argument will come that LeBron James has made more three-pointers than Larry Bird, but he also played 21 seasons. And also, Larry Bird had injuries that he dealt with, which cut his longevity down and his playing time down and years down playing the game of basketball with a back injury. When it comes to the free throw line, 89 or 94%, 95% for Larry Bird, and LeBron James 74% in his prime as a high. So we already know, we've seen LeBron airball free throws, miss free throws, choke the game away on the free throw line. And so in that department, I would rather have Larry Bird on the free throw line when it comes to sealing the deal and getting it done. Now, in terms of player efficiency rate, LeBron James is 29 and Larry Bird is 26.1. But you also have to realize that, again, most of his points come at the basket with dunks and layups. And Larry Bird took more long distance shots, mid-range shots, and fadeaway shots. And Larry Bird is also the only small forward in NBA history with 3 straight MVPs as a small forward, something LeBron James hasn't done. And you got to also think about it. Larry Bird brought the championships to the Boston Celtics at a much faster pace and short time period than LeBron James has, winning 3 championships in a shorter time, where it's taken LeBron James 21 seasons to get 4 championships. And the 4th one, I'm going to put an asterisk behind it because it was the bubble ring. Comment below, let me know what you think. I got Larry Bird, and I agree with Michael Jordan that Larry Bird is the most skilled small forward that I've ever seen play the game. He had the handles, he had the step back, he had the mid-range, he could do it all. Comment below for Larry Bird.